to Boston University. Batiste and Hastings to jump center, won by Boston College, and we are off here. The day before Thanksgiving, BC and Harvard meeting for the first time in a couple of years. The Eagles got a victory on this floor 2 seasons ago.
You can see the Eagles' deliberate approach. Both of these teams play at the same offensive tempo.
Hastings no good on the turnaround, and a rebound to Tay Barbour, the sophomore from Manassas, Virginia.
You know, and if you're the Eagles, you want to go inside on the first possession. So a good look at the basket. You can see the same kind of pace at this end with the Crimson have the basketball. Two more deliberate tempos in Division I basketball.
Batiste getting inside, and he draws a foul. He got Aidan Shaw up in the air.
You know, this is we thought about this going into the game. How will the front court of Boston College match up against some of these smaller yet highly versatile Harvard Crimson players?
Batiste in his junior season now, averaging 12 points a game. He is still perfect at the foul line this year now. 13 for 13. Felt too early for an announcer to risk there. So
Harvard guy,
just
don't
let
worry
it
about
go.
that. Nobody's getting in his head. But I'll tell you what, you look at some of these numbers here. I think the most impressive thing, Eric, he's a 50, 40, 90 guy already through 7 games now. We'll see how it plays out, but pretty hard to find in college basketball.
He's been so good from 3 this year. His 2-point field goal percentage actually brings down his field goal percentage for the year.
Good call. That's exactly right.
BC back to work. Hand kicks. 3-ball. Forte is good. Off his best game as a Boston College Eagle. Scored 22 against Tulane last time out. Had a total of 19 points in his prior 4.
5 for 8 in that game from behind the 3-point line. Something he had done at his previous stop.
32% 3-point shooter this year. Nice defense from Jayden Hastings, who takes away the lane for Hinton in Boston College.
Again, don't be surprised if they try to generate something in tight.
Here's Fred Payne from the free throw line. Fred Payne has been very good recently for BC, averaging 15 points a game over his last 5.
How about that's 5 games in a row for him in double figures. He's never done that before. He had one sequence of 3 games in double figures last year. Well, he's off to a special start as well.
Here's Batiste, step back, and he hits. There you go.
That's what we were saying a couple possessions ago, Eric. You saw that crossover dribble there, the move to go at the defender and pull up. He's really talented.
Won the team's most improved player award last year, up to 11 points a game. And he guards Jayden Hastings here. 13 to shoot for Boston College. And everybody deliberate to start. Here's Payne for 3. Fred Payne picking up right where he left off. That's an early 5.
Great job by the Eagles playing off the high ball screen, relocating the ball to the perimeter as the defense collapses. Harvard actually did a real good job on that.
Here's Chandler Piget, one of the veterans on this Harvard team. Hastings got a piece of the rebound, but it's an offensive board for Barbour. He has a deep 3 chance, which goes down. The sophomore, Tay Barbour, who'd be impressive from 3 at 45% if Batiste wasn't on his team.
Tay Barbour,
than 1.
Talk about worrying about guys who make the jump from year 1 to year 2. He's done a fabulous job doing so.
Here's Hastings, got the runner. Good offensive start for these teams. Jayden Hastings with his first 2, 10-7 BC. And right inside, just as you mentioned, Barbour gets to the bucket. He has 5.
Just to change the tempo now, Crimson are going to go to some zone. They are primarily a man-to-man team, but I think Coach Amick is saying, let's just look at another, give them another look, maybe get them back on their heels.
Floater, Forte, little strong, rebound available, and eventually finds its way down to the sophomore Robert Hinton, and then ends up out of bounds, couldn't control it. So BC makes each of their first 2 3-point attempts.
You know, this is just a good long corner pass. Catch and shoot for Forte, just an excellent job there. Superior job by Harvard Crimson, opening the court, utilizing their back cuts.
6 to shoot for Boston College. Payne drives left. Payne lost the handle on it. Out of bounds. It will stay here. Just 1.8 on the timer when we come back to Conti Forum. Good offensive start. These two 15. What does BC have? Fred Payne. Got it!
Simple catch and shoot action by Fred to the short corner. Well done. Coming out of the timeout.
Well, he certainly continues to be in a zone right now. 8 points early. Lead of Boston College is 13. 2 of them from behind the arc. The Eagles have made their first 3 3-pointers. PJ bounces off. Rebound took a little bit of a strong bounce. Both Kapke still finds it for Boston College. Kapke and Taves into the game for BC out of that last timeout. Harvard still with its starting group on the floor.
Back to man now. Shuffling the deck right now with the Eagles. Get into the high horns, 4 and 5.
Kapke hands off for Luka Taves. 5 to shoot, kicks to Shaw. Hand gotta go, 4-3, got it.
So valuable. Luka Taves in the lane, make the pass, and get that pass receiver to make an extra pass. The 3-point make.
And Donald Hand Jr. makes his first. You kind of are looking at things, right? His 2-point percentage has kind of been pretty consistent all year. His free throw shooting has been much better recently, so you hope the 3-point shooting comes along with it, and that's a really good look for him. That's obviously, we keep mentioning it because it's such a huge key for this Boston College team.
And he's so talented off the extra pass. You see the passing going inside, out, catch and shoot, simple basketball, good assist for Aidan Shaw.
Cyril Grant said, I mean, he's here at 6 a.m. He's working at it. He trusts it's going to come. He's too good a player for it not to. So a 3-pointer for Hand. It's 16-9. And then the Harvard turnover. A little 6-0 spurt here for Boston College. They've made 6 of their last 7 from the floor. Luka Taves doesn't keep it going. Goes short from 3.
Yeah, he had a lot more room going to his left there before that pull-up.
A little bit more of a deliberate game, as you said, and it's allowed Boston College to be pretty good with their shot selection so far. There is Aidan driving, kicks, and into the game. Austin Hunt, the sophomore. Nastesky is blocked. Aidan Shaw comes in against Luka Ace Nastesky, and he blocks it. Out of bounds possession going to BC.
You know, he's been such an addition as a stretch 5 and 4 man and showing great vertical on the defensive end. Such a rim protector, actually playing in his 100th career game tonight.
It's worth noting you just saw Austin Hunt on that drive, playing his first game since the Northeastern game back on November 11th. He's been banged up, so an important guy to have back for Harvard. Kapke right hand, got the friendly roll.
Again, good sense by the Eagles. Get it inside, play off of that inside. Last time we saw a pass out of the inside feed. Here we see a nice scoring move to Kapke's right hand.
PJ driving left against Shaw. PJ, tough effort, no good. And then a foul on the rebound. Possession going to Boston College.
I think what we saw in that one, Eric, is Shaw's got their attention now at that rim after that shot block. You can see how he challenged inside defensively right there.
See his numbers. He has at least 8 rebounds in all 7 games this year. Twice he's gone over 10. Block numbers have been good. And then had a season-high 8 points offensively last time out against Temple.
And he's never been over 10 rebounds in a game, so those are special career marks for him at the start of the season.
And it keeps you on the floor.
Oh,
when
it
you're
does
doing
indeed.
those things.
Yes, yes.
Here is Radunovic into the game. His 3-ball in and out. But a good rebound by Kenny Shonda. Getting some early minutes today. Kapke wide open. Boden Kapke no good. And a rebound down to Harvard. It bounces to Xavier Nesbitt, the junior from Chicago.
Austin Hunt, as you mentioned, number 7 there. He can play. Injuries have set him back, but he's a big part of this rotation.
Native of Marlborough, Massachusetts here. Here is Chandler PJ spinning against. Nice take. He goes a spin cycle on Kenny Shonda and goes right to the basket.
PJ is such a classic 3-level scorer. So off to such a great start this season. He can play make, he can score, as you saw there.
There's Fred Payne to the basket, no good there. Ace Nesteski putting defense on, and here is Hunt on the run for Harvard. Ended a 5-minute scoreless drought. Now PJ nearly had 5 points in a row of his own, but an offensive rebound.
Another second chance for the Crimson.
PJ got his man to the ground, and he goes right to the basket and scores.
How about the hesitation off the move? That's an experienced, seasoned scorer. A senior for the Crimson, 15 points a game. More importantly, 2-to-1 assist turnover. That might be 2.6-to-1 assist turnover ratio.
Ten to shoot. Radunovic driving right hand. Radunovic to the basket.
You know, the size factor was huge. The first step length was huge for Radunovic. Look at him as a shooter coming in off the bench, and he does come in the game jump shot ready. But when he's got some size with his matchup, exactly what you want. Put the ball on the floor, find the straight line to the rim.
Native of Montenegro, Marko Radunovic averaging about 14 minutes a game off the bench for BC. Here is Nesbitt, 10 to shoot, around for Hunt. Got his defender up, and Hunt hits the long two.
Just got to keep your feet. That's all that was. Good job by Hunt. He's an aggressive offensive talent, Austin Hunt. Led the team in field goal percentage last year.
He had played a ton of minutes, over 30 against New Hampshire earlier in the season, that second game, and then was banged up against Northeastern. Here is Luka Taves, switches right, Taves kicks. Three ball is no good, but look at Radunovic coming in, helping with the offensive rebound. And then out of bounds possession to Harvard when we come back. A little bit of a pushback for the Crimson, but Boston College, sophomore, 13 as a junior, and now up near 15 as a senior.
I was going to say he plays Iron Man minutes,
yes,
but that disqualified him in that timeout when Coach Amaker had to give him a blow. Most minutes of anybody on the Crimson roster right now in his first 10 minutes.
That's a 5-point Boston College lead halfway through this first half. Keenan Parrish in there for the first time, first year from North Carolina, and they stepped out of bounds.
You can see the energy that Austin Hunt has. He would just want to attack the baseline, get himself going. As you said, Eric, he's a local guy. This game means a lot to him, I'm sure. One of his teammates is on the Boston College roster as well, from Milton Academy, coached by the great Lamar Reddicks.
Here's Donald Hand. Nice little fall away. Two-pointer, no good. Robert Hinton brings it up.
This is where Hinton can be good, too, on the floor.
Free ball. Batiste got it.
You got to know that's his game, no matter how you match up. If you switch or whatever, you got to know that's a big challenge in this ball game. Play the pick and pop with Thomas Batiste.
He is 16 of 24 from behind the arc this year. Shot a match. He did.
That was his first
of the year.
Yeah. See the Eagles backing off the ball pressure, just sitting back a little bit. Staying packed, staying compact in the rim area.
And a little fake, nearly taken away by Shaw. He does get it back. Now it's Eisendrath against Forte. Got to get it off. End of the timer. Didn't hit anything.
Good possession of defense by the guys in the white shirts. This is where you've got to get him. He sets a screen, and then he pops back. Seldom does he roll to the rim. Likes the pop get game. That's number one on his individual scouting report. Guard him in the pick and pop. You're going to switch, then switch hard. Not going to switch, get out there quickly.
Shaw thought about it again after making his first just a moment ago. Forte back out there for BC. His three ball. Pretty good look. Doesn't go down.
They opened up the corner for him, too, so he had room to go one-on-one if he wanted to reject that.
Hinton against Fred Payne. Hinton is good.
Boy, that is smooth, isn't it? That pullback shot, the high release points, very difficult to challenge.
You know, obviously we mentioned the 34 points he had, a career high against BU. It was notable just because of the number, as Fred Payne finds another three. Into double figures once again. 6 games in a row for Fred Payne. BC by 6.
You can see good attention to from the weak side.
Into no good on the jumper. Here's Forte running. A lob for Shaw. He couldn't finish at the rim.
So tempting anytime you see him to your right or your left in transition to just wait and let it happen.
Our board, little shimmy, and his three ball is no good. Team picking up a little bit of pace
absolutely.
to it.
Yep.
You see by 6, 7:13 to go. Hastings inside.
Good sense of where to find the seal player in tight. Excellent offense by the Eagles.
Tommy Amaker.
For the 7 opponents this year to last, this one has been stronger. Keep in mind that one loss was to a VCU team that did very well, taking it to the NCAA tournament.
Batiste driving left against Hastings, and Batiste can't finish at the rim.
Well, he did a nice job finding the driving angle. Again, going at the Boston College bigs off the bounce from the elbow area.
Brett Payne's been very good in the early going. Entrance, Hastings has a little bit of space. Batiste does get over, but commits the foul. Just the 3rd foul total that we've had in this first half.
And that keeps the flow of the game going, obviously, but it's been good for Boston College.
That has been a trend for Harvard the last couple of years. Top 20 nationally in fewest fouls per game. They were way up there in that stat last year as well.
And the other component to that is they're very successful at the free throw line themselves.
Jayden Hastings only had the 4 points against Tulane. Was very good against Davidson, though. Season high 25 minutes, 11 points. First career double-double. A couple of free throws here. He has an early 6 points.
Yeah, new role, higher expectations to be a significant contributor for Jayden Hastings. Just got to inch ahead every ball game with levels of consistency.
Certainly see all the raw talent there. It's just that consistency piece, as it is for almost everybody.
Yeah, and you know he wants to do it. Hey, red shirt of the year, sat behind post, sat behind Venning.
He's got another rebound here, his 4th of the game after the Harvard miss. Forte sees an opening, kicks to Shaw. Aidan Shaw resets in the lane, a spin goes up, Shaw scores!
Game in isolation on the left side of the floor, had tons of room to make a play for himself.
Feels like maybe even you can see a little bit more confidence offensively from him than maybe we saw in the first couple games that we did earlier this year. He's got a rebound there.
He was on teams where he had no role.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get in the game. He's on a team now that really wants to give him a significant role to be a contributor. And they play a little bit differently. These ball screens, you see with the ball in his hands, with Jayden's hands right there.
Little handoff, Hastings! Nice job to find the trailer by Forte, and Jayden Hastings has 8 points. The Eagles are on an 11-0 run over the last 2+ minutes. They lead by 14. Batiste wide open, can't leave him there.
I won't say it anymore. You just got to you got to guard the 2-man. Actually, the Eagles are doing an excellent job with their help defense. Something they had some issues with in the Tulane game.
Harvard is 3 of 9 from 3 today. 2 of those makes are Batiste. Here's Shaw, 10 to shoot, kicks for Donald Tand, and he traveled. Go back to this look earlier from Aidan Shaw.
Yeah, he's just really doing a quality job, getting a lot of room and being deliberate in his approach off the bounce. As we said, this is a new role for this guy. He didn't do this at his previous school rather.
Aidan Shaw came in from Missouri, 92 career games from Missouri. He was a 64% shooter from the floor when he did get his opportunities. Last year averaged about 9 minutes a game for a Missouri team that made the NCAA tournament.
He is a big-time athlete. You're not going to find many better than him when it comes to athletic ability.
Hunt was no good from 3, but a great save by Barbour. Oh, he did all that work and then stepped on the out-of-bounds line. There is Tommy Amaker. You're 19 now for Tommy Amaker at Harvard. It's been a Harvard team. You know, they really got on a run late in the season last year, 5-2 over their last 7 Ivy League games. They just missed the Ivy League tournament by a game, ended up finishing 5th. And this feels like maybe his best team in the last 4 or 5 years, and they have expectations to get back to that Ivy tournament. Kapke to the rim, no good. And Barbour a rebound.
He's had an extraordinary career in Division I basketball, one of the true gentlemen in the game, Coach Amaker. When it's all said and done, he'll be a candidate for the collegiate NCAA Basketball Hall of Fame. He should get to 500 wins by then, too.
There's Chandler PJ. He has 6 points. He's at 484 overall in his coaching career. Seton Hall, Michigan, and the last 19 at Harvard. Here's Donald Hand for 3. It's no good. Hinton has the rebound.
This is the beauty of the Harvard offense. They get a number of guys that can push the ball in the open floor.
Oh, there's the cutter. Hunt, he did everything but finish at the rim.
PJ, Hinton, Barbour, all can push the ball. Hunt.
And kicks for Shaw. 3 ball. That's no good. And a rebound for Hinton, and they do indeed push. Barbour for 3. That's in and out, but an offensive rebound by Hinton. Barbour gets another crack at it, and this time he scores. 8 for Tay Barbour. And a nice little spurt back here for Harvard. Little 8-0 run, 34-28.
Barbour so efficient.
Here's Forte, tried to lob it up and ends up working there for Kapke. Doesn't have to look perfect every time. It's just got to go in. He's shooting 48% from the floor, hitting a spin to the bucket. No. A couple of times they've gotten to the bucket, had good looks, just have not been able to finish.
And they were spin-type moves, too.
Here's a lob for Shaw, and they're bailed out with a foul. Payne knew it, immediately tapped his chest. Been a good offensive game here for both. 8 points for Tay Barbour. Eagles on offense. Shaw, 20 to shoot, finds Fred Payne. You see 6 of 13 from 3. They've shot 48% overall, and Fred Payne connects. Continues to have a great first half. He has 13 points.
Very similar play and spacing as we've seen so far from the Eagles. Clear out that left-hand corner, put a 2-man play over there on the wing, and let the guy go. In that case, Fred doing a nice job.
Batiste driving, 14 to shoot against Kapke. Batiste needs help, kicks out for Hinton. Against Fred Payne, good defense by Payne, but commits the foul at the end of it.
That's too bad. It was good defense by Kapke, too. He wasn't buying any of those shot fakes in tight from Batiste.
Little lob to Hinton, got in behind, and Shaw comes over and rejects it.
I thought he put out a message earlier about that kind of shot.
Hand gets to the free throw line. Donald Hand no good, and Hunt finds a rebound.
You can see that Crimson can pitch it ahead, get into anybody's hands, 5-man motion, open up the court. Everybody has skill, and you find this guy to driving range.
And there's PJ showing a little bit of a burst. He has 8.
That was a good illustration of him just being steady, versatile, waiting, going as the lane opened up.
Forte. Just missed at the rim. So a real chance for Harvard here in the final minute. Again,
you can see
down as much as 14. It's an 8-point game right now.
Come down and space the floor nicely.
PJ nearly lost the handle, manages to find Hinton. Offensive rebound, Batiste into the corner with 15 to shoot. Barbour, deep 3. That's no good.
Good awareness to go the inside-out pass.
Never quite had the right rotation after that offensive rebound. And now BC can hold for a final shot. What a little swing this could be at the end of the half, depending on what happens right here.
This is the guy that's been the most consistent in these 2-man plays in the middle of the floor, Fred Payne.
And Harvard has only committed 3 fouls, so they have plenty to give here. 5.7 to go. And that's still just the 4th on Harvard. It is, though, the 2nd on Batiste. And so he will come out here for Ace Nesteski. Tommy Amaker just shouting, 2 to give for Kapke. And they're going to keep the foul on the floor.
Looking for a continuity.
3.7 to go in the half. Boston College up by 8.
I'm sure they will. They don't want to take it in this situation. Let the ball come in. Now
it's Payne. He gets the shot off. Too strong. And a rebound down to Hunt. I think Harvard will take that.
Absolutely.
And it's an 8-point Boston College lead over Harvard at the end.
3 for 4 from that three-point line.
A couple of those early.
As we said, it had flow. There wasn't many fouls generated. Minimal turnovers with both teams. Just had a good rhythm to it.
So 8-point lead for Boston College. They led by as much as 14 at the 5:32 mark of that first half. Here is Hinton, and Fred Payne goes around and commits the foul.
You know, for Boston College, you got to at least have an awareness in this ball game that this team, Harvard, wins games at the free throw line. They get there and they win it, and they don't put you on the line. So between their three-point makes and they're getting to the free throw line is all very helpful.
It makes the bucket there. I was starting to say earlier, and then we got, sidetracked by the game happening, but that 34 points against BU, that came after 2 games in a row where he had kind of struggled a little bit, just 2 of 16 from the field. So it was a really important bounce back game for him, let alone the career high. Here's Donald Hand, and that's good from 3. Speaking of important.
Oh, man, you can look at that all day long. Fred Payne, ball on the floor to penetrate, kick it to Donald Hand, jump shot and score.
Donald Hand 2 for 3 from 3. Nice take to the basket by PJ.
That's what we were talking about, Eric, the quickness off the catch. PJ can just move his ball and his body so quickly.
10 points for Chandler PJ, 10 for Batiste, 8 for Barbour. There's another one from deep, no good that time, and Barbour has the rebound for Harvard.
Second driving kick for the Eagles just doesn't go.
Teams with their starting lineups to start the second half. PJ got caught with Shaw.
PJ had a lot of room on the right there. Look at how the court opens up. He had a lot of room to drive the basketball.
Kick to the corner. Eisendrath driving, finds Barbour, 3 to shoot. Barbour off the window. He scores in the foul.
Gutty possession by the Crimson. Ball moved nicely. Everybody was strong with the ball in their hands. Generated an and one possibility. Look, of course, nice and spread. Extra pass out top. Driving kick again, or just continue to the goal. And because there was so much room there, puts himself in such an advantageous position. Spacing, such a big deal in team offense.
Harvard has 4 guys averaging double figures. 3 of those guys have gotten to 10 so far today after that make at the line. 41-37 is the BC lead. Hand, can he do it again? He can!
Good reaction to the change of defense. Crimson go to zone. Ball movement by the Eagles. Nice catch and shoot by DJ at the top.
3 threes for Hand. That's his most in a game this year. 3 for 4 from behind the arc.
You can see all that space near the rim to open up the driving lane or the back cut.
That's a great pass.
It sure was. Pocket pass with his strong hand. Hey, Barbour just knowing how to find the open lane on the cut. 45-degree cut, we call that.
3 assists for PJ. Decent pass inside, but it's knocked away out of bounds. It'll stay here with 16 on the timer. Another 3-pointer for Donald Hand.
Drive, kick, catch and shoot. Good rhythm, good awareness of the relocation by Donald Hand. Just a heck of a backdoor pass right there.
It's easy to say it was only a matter of time for Donald Hand, and it's probably the truth, as Fred Payne, nice take to the basket and scores. He has 15. But when it had been as many games as it had been, you still need to start to see it at some point, just for his own confidence. That is a wide open 3. Batiste has burned BC 3 times on that shot today. He has 13.
And for Donald Hand, he's always had the green light for Coach Earl Grant. So I think that's kind of reassuring to know you can keep trying to shoot your way out of it.
Here's Forte for 3. That rolls off. Hastings gets the rebound out to Payne.
Good ball movement.
Out of bounds, it'll stay here. Well, Donald Hand, 3 3-pointers today, 9 points. To his credit, in a lot of the games earlier this year, he was still finding ways to score, even though it wasn't the most efficient. But if he can get to the line, and if he can get that foul shooting back where it was last year, that is crucial too. You see the struggles early, but he's been very good recently. He was over 80% last year from the line.
That's what all the top scorers do, Eric. They get to the line. And
EJ affected at the rim. Good work by Kapke. Shaw in there as well. Game's definitely got some more pace to it than we saw in the early part of the first half.
Yes.
And that's knocked away.
It's an easy one to deflect from the weak side, but just kind of telegraphed it over his head.
46-42.
A lot of pride has been generated with the success of Coach Amaker, and that's for my guys. Feeling a lot of pride in what's going on with that program, how it got in the NCAA tournament. His tenure has really complemented anything I left behind, for sure.
And important to note for you that one of those pictures was here at Boston College. So 4.9 on the timer, 46-42. Boston College leads. Nice play. Robert Hinton, and he's going to get the basket out of it.
Simple, gutty help defense by Hinton. Shows his length and athletic ability, and sees the value in getting a turnover out of the timeout.
I imagine it's so much easier to jump that when there's so much less time on the shot clock. Now BC's lead all the way down to 2. Kapke inside, no, but a foul. Let's go back to this play by Robert Hinton.
This is just sniffing it out real well in the inbounds. Went with the left hand, which was the proper hand to deflect an inbounds pass. It's just a dangerous angle sometimes to throw it. He knew it.
So stretched out a little bit. Since Boston College took that 14-point lead, Harvard has outscored BC 24 to now 13 over about a 10-minute span. 5 points for Boden Kapke, 70% at the line to start the year.
Been such a positive addition to the Eagle lineup. Being a guy who can play on the perimeter, distribute the ball, take the open three as we shot in the last game with Tulane when necessary, but play pick and pop, which they don't have a lot of in the front court.
6 for Kapke. Pass for TJ. It was too tall from Eisendrath.
Eisendrath has really done a good job with the Crimson.
Started the last 5 games. Just 3 in double figures for Harvard today. Hinton's the other one averaging 10 per game. There's a step back and Luka Taves knocks it down.
Well, you want a sight for sore eyes? Seeing Luka do that makes all the difference in the world for him. Because if he can make these shots from behind the three-point line, then he'll draw the defense right. See, the defender's going under the screen, had no intention of coming to the top of the screen. Luka's going to be effective. He has to get those defenders, in that case, Eisendrath, to guard on the top of the screen.
Taves missed the first 2 games of the year. Excellent job there by Kapke, and then Taves goes to the hardwood, creates a steal. Radunovic running downhill. Radunovic, no. Follow up by Kapke, not there either.
It's real good conversion defense by the white shirts right there. That ball came up quickly from the Crimson.
Couple guys, bump and a foul.
Couple guys had to really run the court hard in conversion.
Foul goes against Kapke.
Now, recently, Coach Grant has not been happy with their defensive conversion at times. There were some easy gets by Tulane down there in Charleston, as there were easy driving lanes from time to time. So they're playing better defense against a very highly skilled offensive team in Harvard.
Earl's going to get out there soon if they're not careful.
You can see that 4-5 ball screen, they switched on it for the first time.
Tease gets inside, hits PJ for 3. That was way off from the jump. That's Kapke putting good pressure on defensively. And BC can run. Taves the trailer. Finds Donald's hand. Radanovic open. And no good from 3. Ooh, friendly fire there for Harvard on the rebound. Two of their own guys kind of came together and allows Boston College to get an offensive board.
Good job by the Eagles with defensive balance after the shot. That allowed them to retrieve that ball.
And driving into the paint, double team there. Hand makes his move for Shaw. Shaw! Oh, moving Shaw!
Well, if you want to find your first, second chance points, force 2 second chance points of the ball game, it's a pretty nice one to look at.
Wow. Well, 7-0 run for Boston College. They lead by 9. Aidan Shaw up to 7 points. Entrance for PJ against Shaw. PJ is affected well by Shaw defensively. BC back on the run. Taves, coast to coast, no.
Luka doing a nice job pushing it the length of the court.
Hinton goes back in, no good. Back and forth we go now all of a sudden. BC by 9.
A little bit crowded. They're all on one side of the court right now. Need to open it up.
Bad moment to reset here. 16 on the timer. Entrance Kapke got caught underneath, but he's fouled. Radanovic is the one that finds him.
This is just a really talented play. Find the open man in the perimeter, takes it right into his right hand, attacks the rim violently, I would say.
We started making this point earlier.
That was like trampoline kind of layup.
I mean, they're definitely, you can sense an extra level of offensive confidence with Shaw here today.
Absolutely. And it's such an important factor for this team. They need him. They absolutely need him to be consistent rebounder, rim protector, run the floor as we've seen, and just continue to be efficient with his scoring, which right now is 3 for 5 from the field, but it's the 6 boards that really have helped the game.
Tommy Amaker goes with a little bit more size. Ace Nastesky comes in. See by 11. Good at the foul line today, 6 for 6. Barbour against Radanovic.
Kept his pivot foot nicely.
There's Austin Hunt against Taves. Hunt falling away and he scores.
Well contested. 6'4" versus 6'1". A couple inches there made the difference for number 7.
Caleb Steger in for the first time for Boston College.
Eagles doing a good job inside-out passing. Just kind of came too quick one. McCade on that, but adjusted nicely when they've seen zone.
11:48 remaining in this second half. Aidan Shaw following up a season-high 8 last time out against Tulane.
5 points right here. With those kind of rebound and scoring 7.6 rebounds, I'd be able to get a double-double after 10 minutes left to go in the second half.
He's got 2 assists. He's got 3 blocks today. He's been on the floor. Here's Kapke for 3 right at the end of the timer, a little bit short. Frankie Menino, the first year, just in the game for Harvard for the first time. He was down the other end. Hunt gets Radanovic onto the hardwood. And a whistle here, and they're gonna wipe the floor right where Radanovic slipped.
You know, as we see Radanovic there, but with Shaw, 23, we also see that his defensive versatility is big. He's going to take on this matchup with PJ, fine, but he can switch on the perimeter, guard a couple different positions. His versatility defensively, significant for the Boston College team. Still very few free throws being taken, very few fouls in the ball game. Coach Grant has to be happy. They're guarding without fouling.
5 to shoot. Hunt
Great job by Luka. Oh, man. That's what you do in practice, one-on-one, and then contest. He, too, is showing some confidence today, number 10.
Radonovich, too strong from 3. Mentioned it with Hunt, though. First game back from a while from an injury, and he's definitely been active. He had a blocking foul here with PJ, who took a hard fall to the ground.
This game can get physical when you're guarding off the dribble, and you see a classic Rule 10-1-4. Guarding a dribble, you can't bump him on his path. Don't take the rule book out. I'm just telling you. It's a 10-1-4.
We believed you. That's PJ, who had about 4 inches.
You know, they've done
so
many additions to Rule 10-1, which is all about protecting the dribbler, and the recent changes from the Rules Committee, and hence scoring is up. It's another reason how scoring has increased.
There's a drive to the basket, and it just rolls off for Eisendrath. Still looking for his first points of the day. 3 ball is good. Caleb Steger, he's here to shoot threes.
Where did that come from? I mean, we know he's got it, but it's just been problematic for him.
Had that really impressive game against the Citadel. Shot hadn't quite been there the last few, but that's a good one right in front of the Eagles bench. 58-46. And again, a wet spot underneath the basket.
You know, sometimes that happens when you have a playing surface over ice. You got top level, professionally padding underneath it, but sometimes the warm days like we're experiencing today.
Yeah, it's warm. It's nearly 60 degrees here in the Boston area today.
Generate some kind of film. You see both coaches are certainly affirming that they'd rather see this done. Well, maybe Coach Hammaker's not saying, let's go. I don't think that was the case.
So 11 on the timer. Well, a couple of times it's been whistled down during his offensive possessions.
Yeah.
Here's Hinton. Goes to his right. Got the mismatch there with Kapke. Hinton can't hit.
Kapke did a good job not fouling, creating some space where he could challenge him vertically. Stayed away from the Rule 10 fouls of putting hands on the dribbler.
It's a 12-2 scoring run for Boston College. Harvard is just one of its last 7 from the floor. Look at Taves. Strong pass for Donald Tans. 14 to shoot for Boston College.
Good ball reversal. Kind of stationary on the weak side, but he'll find that they're there.
Matisse back in, which means Kapke has the size advantage. 10 points for Boden Kapke.
Kapke's got determined low-post footwork. You can see his dribble drop game right there. He can go left, as you saw there, or his more dominant right hand would be the shot of preference. Excellent job there finishing the play.
After a couple of years at Butler into Boston College, there's Robert Hinton for 2, and a quick timeout taken. 9:20 remaining in the second. Makes from behind the arc.
Certainly a difference maker for them, but so is this guy with the basketball. You know, you look at the second half, you've got 3 guys playing with the best plus-minus. One of them is Luka, the other one is this guy with the ball, Kapke, +8, and Shaw, +1. So sometimes you get all caught up with Fred. This guy here, why not?
Donald hand to the basket, an offensive board there for Kapke, and he hits Steger in the corner.
And how about Steger coming in and just feeling comfortable? These guys are happy for him because they know he's got it in him, but it's been some of these bench contributions that have been really significant as that bench score 21-4 over the Crimson.
There's been a lot of building blocks in this game for BC, coming off a tough weekend in Charleston. Here's the 3 ball from Steger.
That's all he needs to do, is just spot up and catch and shoot. And that gets the bench points to 21-4 for the Crimson in the ballgame.
Largest lead of the game for BC. Hinton no good from 3, and Steger has the rebound.
Either going under the screens for Luker, and that's why the three-point shot becomes important. But give him credit to get into the logo.
Donald's hand for three. Might have forced that a touch. Inside for PJ. Eagles got a piece of it. Who's it off last? Going to Boston College.
Good job by the Eagle defense. You see the passer put the ball over his head, so it was good to read the direction the pass was going. Got the turnover.
It's Boston College's final game for a week. They played a lot here in a short order. Stager, can he do it again?
Oh,
he
yeah.
did it!
You know, it's just one of those days for him. Give the point guard credit. Knew he had to find him. Knew he was in the long corner. Drove the baseline to find the passing angle. Well done.
New career high, 9 points for Stager on 3 made threes, all in the second half.
Boy, this to the baseline, get into the long corner. Great to see the guard group on that bench showing great respect.
Most threes this year for BC, most since last January against North Carolina. That was miscommunication there, so Harvard gets it back. It's a 20-4 scoring run for Boston College over the last 8 minutes. Remember, Harvard cut this to a 2-point game at 46-44. Eagles have been really good since. Harvard is just 2 of 12 from the floor in that time.
You know, and only 1 3-point make, 1 for 4 at 25%. So that's kind of helped Boston College that they've made some shots. You can see the value in the 3-point shot for the makes for the Eagles, and you can see when the Crimson can't generate makes like that, scoreboard tends to move in the other favor.
16 to shoot.
That being said, they can come back.
Here's Taves.
Taves doing a good job just getting into the paint.
Gets it to Fred Payne. Nice drive by Fred Payne. 17 points.
Fred read that perfectly. Came with a little bit of a stampede cut on the catch and just continued to the rim.
First foul on Caleb Steger. It is the 5th of the half on Boston College. But obviously, quite a hole for Harvard to dig out of right now. Largest lead for BC. PJ against Hant. 8 to shoot. Xavier Nesbitt is in there. Comes inside. PJ falling away. He finds the bucket.
We say he's an inside-out player. That possession perfectly explains it. Couldn't get anywhere off the dribble. DJ Hant, a great job. So he went into the post area. Showed his ability to finish.
Ends a little 8-0 scoring run in the midst of that spurt. Here is Hinton. Remember, he had a steal like that early that kind of got Harvard going and ended up cutting it to a 2-point game. Can they do it again? Double figures now for Robert Hinton.
Yeah, 4th turnover for the Eagles.
Fred Payne left alone, and he's short from 3. Would have been a new career high for Payne.
Say this is where Harvard doesn't need a lot of plays. They can put the ball in a number of people's hands, generate those one-on-ones that we just saw with PJ.
A nice look there, couldn't finish. Payne has to get rid of it, does find Kapke. Eagles cycle around, and Steger can't do it this time.
But it was excellent ball movement. You had a couple guys there that could have taken that shot a week ago, but they instead passed it ahead.
Barbour, nice little fake, but then he's short on the runner. Did the work. Just couldn't convert.
This is where the Eagles just going to look for some poise on offense, chop the clock down, and still stay aggressive.
Thrown away. Hinton from the free throw line. His jumper is good.
Too much retreat, not enough get out to the dribbler in the middle of the floor in the break.
So BC has not scored in over 2 minutes. Little 6-0 run for Harvard, but then a foul on Nesbitt. Still work to do, but they've cut it from 20 to 14.
This is just another great read by Hinton. Saw the telegraph pass just a little bit. And again, you see what Harvard can do in fast break opportunities. You can steal it, create offense from the defense. You can be the push guy, dribble the length of the floor. Another one there.
Hastings back in there for the first time in a bit. He's fouled by Batiste. Forte's back in as well for Boston College, as is Aidan Shaw.
Well, we see Batiste there. We are seeing the balanced scoring from the Crimson. Batiste with 13, PJ with 12, Barbour with 13, Hinton with 12. This is what they do.
Important free throws for Hastings. It's the third foul on Batiste. PJ and Hinton both come out for now for Harvard. Hunt and Nino back in.
One thing about that run by the bench of the Eagles allowed some of these older starters get some rest. They should be strong to finish this game properly.
Boston College a perfect 8 for 8 from the foul line. Their lead is 16. Barbour for Batiste. Nesbitt, 8 to shoot, affected by Forte.
Good job guarding the two-man play on that side. Covered the pop, covered the dribbler. See Coach Grant saying move. He wants them to be decisive with their passing. Eliminate some time on the clock.
Forte driving is fouled, and we'll go to the line when we come back. Just 20, Harvard a little spurt to bring it back to 14. This is something that Earl Grant has talked about. This idea that, okay, so let's take it here at 16. Can we push the lead to 20?
Sure.
We're up by 4. Can we push it to 7 or 8? You know, one of the reasons here that, you know, the Eagles have lost some of these close games, the inability to do it. When they've won, they have been able to do it. Such a key point for a team growing and the idea of learning how to win early in the season.
And a whole new group playing together, establishing their roles. I think we're seeing the roles a little bit better defined in this ballgame. Certainly the three-point makes are huge relative to the scoreboard. They shot the ball at the same amount of attempts behind the three-point line, but their accuracy far stronger than 25%, up to 45 right now, 43 behind the three-point line, and just explaining to the group what a difference that can be in terms of a separator.
Really felt like the shot selection early was especially good. It kind of worked its way. It was a really kind of deliberate pace early. Felt like that actually allowed them to get into a rhythm in their shot selection early on in this game that kind of carried all the way through.
I don't think you could walk out of that locker room in Charleston when they lost to Tulane and say, we had great shot selection today, just didn't go. No, not the case. They came in determined today to get good, solid shot selection chances at the rim. And I don't think anybody's tried to do too much offensively. Just let the game flow.
So here is Batiste as Harvard tries to get back in. A little head fake, couple of bounces, and it doesn't go. And Donald Hand finds his way to get a rebound through 2 Harvard Crimson players.
Batiste with the ball found a very long arm, number 22, contesting it. Hard to shoot over.
That is the 6th foul on Harvard.
Harvard doesn't do a lot of pressing. They play a short lineup, so they're not used to a lot of pressure situations to generate traps and steals.
Forte with 7. 4 to shoot. Kenny Shunda for 3. That's no good. Had to go with just 2 on the timer, and then Hastings commits a foul. Second foul on Hastings, and Boden Kapke will return.
Hard to believe only 4 personal fouls. 4 free throws, rather, taken by the Crimson at this point.
You had mentioned it, just how good a free throw shooting team this Harvard team can be. Almost 80% on the year. Barbour's at 84%. And he missed. Game that BC led by as much as 14 in the first half. They led by 8 at halftime. Shonda again no good from 3.
It was a good open look.
Harvard had cut the lead down to 2 at 46-44. But BC extended it all the way out to as much as 20. And Barbour, who takes a hard fall, driving in against Kapke. Foul goes against Boston College.
Kapke just showing what he does best, and that's wall up. He's playing with shot blockers generally, but he can elevate from the floor and try to get the wall up look. Makes the offense shoot over him. Just picked up the foul there.
So this is one of those, sometimes it's not, game gets choppy at the end.
Yeah.
Harvard hasn't scored in 2 minutes, 40 seconds. BC hasn't made a field goal in more than 4 minutes, but they've made their shots at the line. And Harvard hasn't made enough on their end to get that really back in.
How about this kid? 9 boards, aggressive plays we've seen. 13 points.
You look at the potential, right? Just look at where he ranks this year. Came in 2nd in the Ivy in 3-point makes, 4th in minutes, 10th in rebounds. So it's an all-around stuff.
Absolutely. We said making the jump from year 1 to year 2 in a very impressive manner.
That ties his career high 15 points, which he's now hit in back-to-back games. Coming up on 2 minutes left, 71-56. Forte driving, explodes to the basket and scores.
Chase Forte gets a lot of room in that middle third of the floor and takes that to the rim nicely.
Down to just 1:43 left. A lot of time coming off here. Nesbitt to the basket. Double team there of Shonda at 6'9" and Kapke at 6'11".
So you sandwich a guy in tight with one a shot blocker, another a wall-up guy, and you wind up, used to say you wind up in a phone booth. Would you understand that if I said that? He dribbled himself into a phone booth. That's what used to say to players.
I don't have any quarters to pay it, but I do know what it is. Just one to shoot, gotta go. Dowdell doesn't hit. And Boston College will dribble out. Ryan Sullivan in there as well, first year from Auburn, Mass. And Dutch Dowdell, the sophomore from Utah. But just 1:10 to go, the Eagles 73-56. And Harvard allowing it to play out. So a little bit of a bounce-back result here for BC, though that's taken away by Frankie Menino, and he scores at the rim.
One of the things we've seen from Harvard today is excellent off-ball vision.
It's still a long season, and the Eagles now will have a week for Thanksgiving before the ACC SEC Challenge. They'll host LSU next Wednesday, which will be an interesting test after a positive result today. It slips away, going Harvard's way, and the timer off.
Fred Payne just continues to grow and grow and grow, Coach Earl Grant.
There is Nesbitt, who has 2. And Boston College will dribble it out.
It's a very satisfying win for the Eagles.
17 for Fred Payne. Kapke and Hastings both going double figures. 73-60. Boston College gets back to 500.
A lot of relief in that hug right there. You know, they had dropped two